A very good evening and welcome to State of Business, our television's primetime business news bulletin. I'm Madhusha Palakumar. Let's take a look at the headlines first. Sri Lanka and Singapore sign FTA to enhance trade facilities. Government to reinforce the Fiscal Responsibility Management Act to stabilize economy. Now the stories in detail. A free trade agreement between Sri Lanka and Singapore was signed at the Presidential Secretariat today. The signing of the free trade agreement took place following bilateral discussions between visiting Prime Minister of Singapore, Lee Hsien Loong, and President Maithripala Sirisena. Last week, Sri Lanka's cabinet approved a proposal to sign the proposed FTA between Sri Lanka and Singapore. The FTA consists of provisions regarding trade in goods and services, service liberalization, investments and public procurement. Moreover, the introduction of this FTA is expected to create a favorable environment for investment while attracting foreign direct investment from Singapore. The Minister for Development Strategies and International Trade, Malik Samaravikrama, and S. Ishwaran, the Minister for Trade and Industry of the Republic of Singapore, signed the free trade agreement on behalf of the respective governments. The FTA was signed with the presence of President Sirisena and Prime Ministers Lee Hsien Loong and Ranil Wickremesinghe. The FTA is Singapore's 13th bilateral trade deal to date, the latest after an FTA with Turkey was signed in 2015. The seminar on economic outlook for 2018, organized by the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce, was held in Colombo last evening under the patronage of Central Bank Governor Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy. Delivering the keynote address during the seminar, Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy noted that poor macroeconomic performances and artificially boosted growth through inappropriate policies has slowed down the economic growth of the country. The seminar focused on the economic outlook for 2018 and the discussion covered the impact on key sectors of the economy. The panel discussion featured expert opinions from the private sector, public policy and global point of view. The seminar also launched the Economic Plus Sector Review and Outlook 2018 by the Economic Intelligence Unit of the Ceylon Chamber of Commerce.
The one thing that has to be avoided at all costs is to try to boost the growth rate by loosening macroeconomic policy in an inappropriate way. This is something we have done again and again in the past. We've artificially boosted growth through inappropriate fiscal and monetary policies, and inevitably there is an overheating of the economy and usually both higher inflation, unsustainable inflation, and a balance of payments crisis. That is the repeating cycle of the Sri Lankan economy. There are important structural changes that seem to be coming through. One is, for the first time since 1954, we had a primary surplus last year. And this year, for the first time since 1987, we expect a surplus in the current account of the budget. That is, revenue is expected to exceed recurrent expenditure.
Speaking further, Governor Kumaraswamy noted that the government is considering strengthening the Fiscal Responsibility Management Act in order to stabilize the fiscal situation. The governor also noted that two major reforms are due to be made by the government this year.
The Fiscal Responsibility Management Act will be strengthened to specify when the government can exceed these targets, and then the government must set out how it will come back, the path it will take to come back within target when it exceeds the target. This is really building on the improvements that have been made in terms of stabilizing the fiscal situation by institutionalizing the fiscal targets. Two major reforms are due to be undertaken this year, and that is the introduction of a cost-reflective pricing formula for electricity. Well, first for fuel and then for electricity. Over 90% of the losses of the CPC and CEB are due to the fact that they subsidize fuel and electricity. The government forces them to sell at an administrative price below cost, but yet it doesn't recompense them. It doesn't compensate them for the subsidies.
Let's take a look at more news after this short break. Welcome back. 5 new ambassadors presented their credentials to President Maithripala Sirisena at the President's official residence in Colombo today. The envoys are Sirajuddin Hamid Yosef, Ambassador of the Republic of the Sudan, Pham Thi Bich Ngoc, Ambassador of the Socialist Republic of Vietnam, Han Tu, Ambassador of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, Lee Hyong, Ambassador of Korea, Cheng Shui-yuan, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China. Minister of Foreign Affairs Tilak Marapanna and the Secretary to the President Austin Fernando were present on this occasion. Issuing National Consumer Price Index for the month of December 2017, Director General of Census and Statistics Dr. Amara Sattarasinghe stated that the year-on-year inflation based on NCPI has declined to 7.3% from 8.4% in November 2017. Contributions to the inflation in December 2017 from the food group and non-food group are 5.7% and 1.6% respectively, whilst contributions of these two groups to the inflation in December 2016 were 1.0% and 3.2% respectively. This resulted a headline inflation of 4.2%, which reflect comparatively lower food prices that prevailed, particularly in the prices of coconuts and vegetables in December 2016. However, when compared to month-on-month changes, NCPI in December 2017 has increased to 126.6 from 126.4 reported in November 2017. This shows an increase of 0.2 index points or 0.2 percentage points in December 2017 as compared to November 2017. This month-on-month change was due to the increase of the expenditure value of food items by 0.12% and non-food items by 0.03% respectively. Furthermore, the groups of furnishing, household equipment and routine household maintenance, restaurant and hotels, and miscellaneous goods and services recorded very slight expenditure value increases compared to the preceding month. However, a decrease in expenditure value in index was reported for the group of alcoholic beverages, tobacco and narcotics. The expenditure value of housing, water, electricity, gas and other fuels, health, communication, recreation and culture and education groups remained unchanged during the month. Let's take a look at the stocks after this break. Welcome back. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a mixed note today. The all-share price index dropped by 3.35 points to close at 6,418.05, and the S&P SL 20 gained by 9.59 points to close at 3,726.66. The turnover was 1.4 billion rupees and 17 million shares were traded. Up next is Forex rates. With that, we are wrapping up State of Business for the day. We'll meet you tomorrow at the same time with more latest news. Until then, take care. Good night.